All right, call the meeting to order. Let's see, number 2 on the agenda is our FCCLA students that we have present. So right out of the box, we'll let them get started.
This summer, 9 students from our chapter attended the National Leadership Conference in Washington, D.C. There were over 10,000 FCCLA members and advisors at this conference. Our members competed in STAR events. We took 9 national competitors in a number of different events. We had 6 competitors who were announced as top 10 finalists, which was the second most in the nation. On top of this, Jordan was named the national 3rd place winner in Chapter Service Project Display Level 1, and I was named as the national champion in Teacher Train Level 1. My project was the Babysitting Basics class, where I hosted a class for any students from Cherokee to come and learn more about babysitting. They learned how to bathe a baby, feed a baby, change a baby, and how to prevent and react to choking in children.
My FCCLA project this year was the Cherokee Blessing Box. For those of you who don't know, it's really just a little food pantry in Idaho Park for those who might be struggling to feed their family, and so it's just a little helpful resource. It's funded by our community of them providing donations and filling it and adding items to it. Our chapter also was represented by Kaylee Eckhart, who led the Oklahoma delegation as a state officer and voting delegate. Kaylee worked to elect a new national officer team and attend business sessions while leading 3 Oklahoma state meetings that were held at this conference.
Outside of our conference success, we also had members experience monumental milestones. 3 of our students had never flown on an airplane, and 4 had never even been out of the state. Being able to travel to D.C. helped us experience our nation's capital and learn more about our history, spending time at places like our nation's capital and learn Washington Monument, Arlington National Cemetery, touring the Capitol, and meeting new people from across the nation was such an amazing experience, and we are so thankful to have had this opportunity.
We are grateful for the support of our school district and community, which made this trip possible. We hope that the lessons we learned and leadership skills we developed will be able to benefit our school and community in the future. Thank you for your time today and all you do.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very good, girls. We appreciate you coming and sharing that with us. We're proud of you guys. You did a great job. One question. What was your favorite thing about the trip?
Other than winning, my favorite part was getting to make new friends and just have the time of my life.
My favorite part was probably the airplane ride and all the neat people we met there.
Okay. You guys got any questions for them? They're on the spot right now. Now's your
Hey,
chance.
one thing, you going 3 feet?
Oh, heck yes, obviously.
What about you? Go try to win one?
We'll try.
Okay.
Awesome. You guys did a great job. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right. You're welcome to stay or you can go. It's up to you.
We're going to check out the court. He always gives the option.
Give them a choice, they're going.
All right, next up, item number 3 is the consent agenda. Bryce, do you have anything in there you want to talk about specifically?
We really don't have anything in those A through G. I will go through the fundraisers unless there are any questions on any of those others that are listed there. So starting off the year July, we really don't have a lot of big expenses on Homewood right now other than just things to get the year started. So nothing really that I feel like is out of the ordinary or outside of our normal monthly projects that we've been doing. So moving down there to the fundraisers, because we do have several listed. FCCLA, which we just heard from 2 of our members there. Ms. Spencer and I visited last spring, and I asked her if she could maybe submit quite a few of those at the beginning so that we could get those approved. So most of those that are listed right there That would be for the first semester, and then there may be some that they need to do second semester, but those FCCLA fundraisers that are listed, those would cover first semester for FCCLA. Softball would like to do a sponsorship banner, and Coach Hall has been looking into those, and that would hang on the back of the softball bleachers over there in the complex. They did one a few years ago. I think it went over pretty well, so we'd like to try that again. Be a team picture, and then the sponsors, I believe, would be listed on the banner. Cheerleading is going to do a Fill My Bow fundraiser. It's where they just have a bow and they sell spots, and I think they're $25 a piece or something like that, and they try to get all the spots filled on that. Football, we would like to do our fan pledge fundraiser again. We've done that for a couple of years in a row. It's been very good for us, so we would like to do that one again this year. Basketball has banner sales. Most of those are a part of some of the sponsorship packages that we sell, but basketball does get the funds for those. And then there are some banners that if that business only purchases a banner, we still want that money to go to basketball. And then the discount cards, I think that's something they do every year. Sophomores, of course, they do all of our t-shirt sales for the year. That's kind of the big fundraiser for sophomores each year. And then the academic team, they do a candy sale each year. So we have that again for this year. That's it.
Any other questions on the consent agenda? I'll make a motion we approve item number 3, A through H.
I second. Bo?
Yes.
Olson? Yes. Collins?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
All right, item number 4 is principals reports. Mr. Patterson, would you like to go? or-
Sure. At the elementary, we've really just been gearing up for the school year. I do want to say thank you to the football boys who came and moved furniture for us. Aaron and Marie have also been doing a lot to get our building ready. Our numbers are a little bit down at the elementary. A lot of our classrooms are consolidated to 1 per grade level, which is different than it's been in the past few years. So we will have a few classes that only have 1 classroom, or grades that only have 1 classroom. After enrollment, we moved classrooms, so it's been kind of like quick turnaround, but I just want to praise our teachers for being hardworking, and they've been up in their classrooms since then. So I know we're going to be off to a great start. Our enrollment numbers are around 145 right now. So that's kind of where we're at.
First thing I had, obviously, the FCCLA members traveled to Washington, D.C. to meet the National Leadership Conference. As you said, there was 9 of them. Kaylee Eckhart, Skylar Cunningham, Harper Larimore, Henley Larimore, Kendall Collins, Marley Tidwell, Marley Kemenal, and of course Jordan Beisel and Montana Ledford were here. There were several silver medals, gold medals, national top 10 finalists. Jordan, like she said, national 3rd place. Montana Ledford was the national champion in her teacher train level 1. Enrollment, we held it on July 27th. Thought it was pretty good. We appreciate all the staff members who helped make the day run smoothly. Put on there to have a special thank you to Mrs. Jordan, I know, who does a lot of preparation and work beforehand. Makes it a lot easier for those kids and parents to kind of get through that. On August 11th, there's going to be a 6th grade or new student school tour here at the junior high and high school building from 6 to 7.
That's 12.
Oh, it's the 12th, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. On July 8th, Great Salt Plains generously provided sports physicals for all our student athletes, 5th through 12. We sincerely appreciate them making the opportunity available to our students. Athletic programs are underway. Junior high and high school softball practice has already begun. The high school softball team will open its season on August 10th, and the junior high team will open up on August 11th. High school football practice kicked off earlier this morning, preparing for their season. They're also the high school team's going to participate in a scrimmage on August 21st at Palm Creek. Elementary and junior high football won't start till school starts. First game, season opener for them is going to be September 1st. So that's all I got.
All right, thank you both. Item number 5, discussion vote to approve or not approve the policies listed below.
So, as you can see, we have several there. What this is, we have to do a federal monitoring process. Every school has to go through it. It's on a 3-year cycle. So we did this 3 years ago. It's our turn to do that again. We're really excited about it. It is a very lengthy process. So with our partnership with Barlow, who is kind of a consulting agency for us with this, our rep recommended that we revise or review, I shouldn't say revise, review these policies. These are ones that, as part of that monitoring process, will be looked at, and they like to see that those have been reviewed recently. So some of these were reviewed last time we did this 3 years ago, but a lot of them it was the time before. So when it's been 6 years after looking at some of these policies, they want to see something a little more current. So we're not really looking at any changes to the policies that we have here listed. Although, as I reviewed our travel policy, I do think that there were some things there that we need to consider because it really wasn't very specific. So what I would like to do is if we would look at our travel and expense policy, I think everybody should have a copy of it in your board packet there. As you can see, there wasn't any. You don't have one? Sorry.
It's in the email, if you have your access to your email, I reviewed
I
it.
didn't print that out first.
Okay. Sorry, I thought we had copies of those. What I'm looking at here is in our travel and expense policy is the amounts that we reimburse for staff when they travel to conferences, that meetings and things like that. There were not in our policy, there wasn't anything specified. So I think what we've tried to do is we look at current government rates, which is a good practice to do. But there are some things there when it comes to meals. So I did some research on that to look at average meal prices because I would like to have some more black and white guidelines on what we reimburse. So what in our policy here, lodging expenses will be reimbursed at actual cost for single occupancy room not to exceed, and I think that should be $150 per night. Okay, like I said, I'm basing that on averages. Now, if there's other conferences that we were to go to and there's no other options, we can make some administrative decisions if that needs to be at a higher rate. But that's kind of, I think 150 is a pretty good amount there. If we think that needs to be a little more, that's fine, but most of our conferences and meetings that we go to are going to be in the Tulsa area or Oklahoma City area, and that's where that number comes from. Same thing with meal prices, $25 and food's expensive. So $25 per meal or $65 per day when the receipts and things like that are presented. So I think that's pretty reasonable. I think that's pretty fair. There's a little line in there that the district will pay up to a percentage of the cost of the meal for meal gratuity. So we can include that. Typically 20%, I think, is a pretty good amount to reimburse for tips. Okay, mileage is a part of this also. While we don't necessarily have to specify, but the current IRS reimbursement rate as of July 1 is 76 cents per mile. So I think if we would just leave the wording at the current IRS approved rate, that keeps us where we need to be as those things change. I don't want to lock us into something if the government rate changes. But like I said, this one really, I feel like we do need to kind of know what that is. I think that's pretty fair. I think that gets us to where we need to be, and our staff is usually pretty good about, you know, they're not trying to stay at the Four Seasons and things like that, so they're pretty reasonable, but I just like having those numbers in our policy. So I would like to change that one, so to speak, and add those things in there. As I said, our other policies here, there really are no changes. These are the ones that will go along with the federal monitoring process, and if we could just, you know, get a review on those. Our federal complaint policy, there's nothing there that needs to change. Military recruiter access policy, that basically just says that we give military recruiters the same access to our students as we would a college recruiter if they were to come on campus. So, which we do. We work very good with National Guard and the other services. Any other questions about any of those? I don't mind going into detail as to what they are. I know that's a lot of information right there, that I do feel like we could approve all of those moving forward. Like I said, other than the travel policy, there really weren't any changes to what we already had. Do those rates sound reasonable? Like I said, I just kind of some quick research and some averages in those Tulsa and Oklahoma City.
I was gonna raise any of them. I raised the motel up to 175, just to.
Okay. Yeah, that's
that way
fine.
you
Like I
wouldn't have
said,
to worry
that was-
about it later on.
yeah, I'd be okay with that. So.
What about travel, do they, the teacher pay that and we reimburse them, or does that run through a PO? Because like taxes and things get pretty high in those rooms.
So if they get a room themselves, we don't reimburse the tax. So that, we try to encourage them letting us do all of that, but there are some times that they book them themselves and then they bring us the receipts and we reimburse that way. But we do try to run it through the school. Judy usually helps booking the rooms and getting all those arrangements and stuff made. So if it was, you know, done that way, then we don't have to worry about the reimbursement part of it.
Just have to make sure you bring your tickets back.
Yeah, keep your receipt or you're out.
Yep.
Any questions? Motions?
Yeah, I'm getting it. Yeah. I want to make a motion that we change the motel amount to 175.
I'll second.
So is it?
I think if we do the,
I was like, are you gonna make your motion to increase it and approve the others as presented?
Oh, okay.
Or
Let me rephrase it.
just,
I'm gonna make a motion that we raise the motel up to 175, and I want to also make a motion that we approve the 5A through G
as presented.
as presented. Okay.
Shane, you still want to second that?
So it's all one motion?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll second it.
Poe,
Yes.
Holton. Yes. Collins.
yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. Thank you, Heather. Straighten me out.
All right, item number 6, discussion and vote to approve the 11th and 12th grade mathematics and science courses taken at the Career Technology Center.
So this is basically become an annual thing for us. It's something that they also need for their accreditation and board purposes, is for the sending schools to approve this. So we have lots of juniors and seniors that go over there, and we'll pick up a math class, especially in the biomed programs, or the health sciences and those things. So number 6 is us just annually approving those math and science courses that our kids take over there for credit.
I'll make a motion that we approve item number 6.
I'll second.
Poe,
Yes.
Holden,
Yes.
Collins. Yes. Parker,
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
All right, item number 7 pertains to our adjunct teacher status. Discussion vote to approve those 3 individuals.
Bert Meyer is a teacher at the Career Tech, and so that's kind of goes along with number 6, but with some of the sciences. And then Justin Schombacher will be teaching wood shop again, and we're able to use that as a art credit, folk art to be specific. And then Ms. Hall, who is still operating under emergency certificate, and is just about to go and get that, or that's not going to have to be an emergency certificate again. But we do need to adjunct her right now to get the year started for middle school social studies.
A motion to approve item number 7.
I'll second. Poe,
Yes.
Holden,
Yes.
Collins. Yes. Parker,
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Item number 8 is discussion vote to approve the admission prices for the athletic events contest. Go down here, general admission $5, Cherokee students $1, and then the opportunity to do a single season pass for $100 that will cover all of those events.
So if you remember, we tabled this last month and just wanted to look at that a little bit closer. So kind of talking to some of the other area schools and looking at what our gate receipts and prices have been. A lot of the area schools have just kind of gone to one price for everybody. So that general admission would be your, like we used to have adult, and then the senior citizen and student was $1 cheaper than that. We're not changing our Cherokee student price, but if we went $5 across the board instead of raising the student senior citizen to $5 and then going on up higher with the adult price, we felt like that it was going to kind of achieve the same thing by just going $5 across the board. It will also simplify it for our gatekeepers quite a bit for ticketing and all of those purposes too. And we felt like that was something that we would be able to do. It would simplify things. The single season pass, we've had some people reach out over the years and ask about those. We've also had some people ask about doing family passes, but then I think that gets a little confusing because how many are they Cherokee students? You know, if you've got 4 Cherokee students, you know, mom and dad come to it. Well, that's not the same as, you know, maybe a single person and 2 other students. So if we just sold them this, if you went to every one of our high school, elementary, junior high, football and basketball contests, that would save you about, I think we came up with about $40, what that kind of discounts it to. I don't know that we'll sell many. I think it's a convenience thing for most people that would like to have these. They'd like to be able to just come in, show that pass, and not have to come up with, you know, that $5. But I think doing it as a single ticket would be much easier. They can come into the office, they can purchase it, we will put their name on it and hand them the ticket that way, and then we will have a list of who those people are, and we would probably keep those at our gate locations and account for it as they came through. So like I said, we haven't offered those really in the past that way. I think it's something that we could do, give it a try. I don't know how many we might sell, but we felt like this would simplify things. It's also raising it just a little bit, but $5 I think is a little easier to keep track of than when you get to 6 and 7, like I said, especially for our gatekeepers.
It sounds good. I'll make a motion that we approve item number 8 as presented.
I'll second it.
Oh,
Yes.
Colton.
Yes.
Collins. Yes. Parker.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
All right, move on to number 9, discussion and vote to approve, not approve the 2026 teacher handbook.
So we've always had a handbook. We really haven't reviewed it, looked at it in several years. And Mrs. Patterson put a lot of work into going through and kind of cleaning this up, really. So we met, we went through this. We're not changing anything contractually for our teachers with the handbook. This is just more of, kind of a guideline for them to look at and follow if they had any questions. It aligns with our policies when it comes to leave. It just puts this information in one place. What we did try to take out of it, and you can jump in whenever I start speaking incorrectly, but what we did kind of take out of it was really things that we felt like were kind of redundant. They were in the student handbook. They didn't really belong in the teacher handbook. And so we really just kind of wanted to try to simplify this in that sense and take some of those things out and just kind of clarify a few points. Like I said, I think the leave part is probably a big part of it, but it does align with our leave policies as far as how many sick days they get, how many personal days. It defines what bereavement leave is and what it can be used for, but did not change the policy as it comes to that. Like I said, it's just, it had been several years, I think, since we've addressed it.
I will motion to approve the 2026-27 teacher handbook as presented.
I'll second.
Oh,
Yes.
Colton.
Yes.
Collins. Yes. Parker.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
All right, item number 10, be a new policy, approve or not approve, the requirement for all students to provide a copy of their driver's license and vehicle information for school security purposes to the student handbook. Super. I'll let you talk about it again.
So we've had a few, instances over the years that mainly out here in the high school parking lot where there's a minor incident, accident or something like that. A lot of times we don't know, number one, who the vehicle may belong to. That's part of it. But recently, over the last couple of years, and we had this conversation as administrators last spring, so that's kind of where it started. But with the new law that allows 14-year-olds to drive, we have a lot of younger kids that are driving to school. We currently don't require anybody to keep their driver's license on file in the office. And I think that there are a lot of those kids that I think as part of that requirement with those licenses are not supposed to have several drivers with them or other riders in the vehicle. There have been concerns, brought to me. I don't think that we can dictate who rides with who. That's really not our responsibility, but it is our responsibility to account for who's driving and parking on school property. And so I think if we would look at this and we are well within our rights to require them to provide their driver's license and vehicle information. But if we had a registry of that in the office and make that a requirement, our idea then is when we get those and they file it in the office with us, they would get assigned a number. And right now we're thinking we can just print these cards off and they can keep that and put that on the dash of their vehicle. So nothing hanging from the mirror, but just, like a parking pass you would get in a parking garage almost, but it'll be laminated, it'd be a little bit bigger. So, Dawson Schombacher gives us a copy of his driver's license. We're going to assign him whatever order he is on the list. If he's number 202, then he needs to keep that card and throw it on his dash. If there is something that comes up during the day that requires us to, need to get him to move his vehicle or whatever that situation may be, if he has that there, then we can quickly figure out whose vehicle that is. We will also know who has a license and who does not. So if there are vehicles and we don't know who they are, we can look into that. We can call local law enforcement, if we had to. Not trying to get anybody in trouble, but we are trying to keep kids safe. And so high school kids can leave at lunch. They have open campus. If they're eligible, they are able to leave at lunch. So a lot of those freshmen and sophomores, they may be 14, they may have that permit, they may be able to do that. But I don't think that it allows for a bunch of them to pile in that vehicle. And so we will, visit with our local law enforcement. If there is a vehicle and they see a license plate number, we ought to be able to look that information up and find the owner of that vehicle pretty quickly. And maybe we can safeguard against some of those things. So this would be adding this requirement to our handbook, I think is where we would need to put that. We can also include that moving forward in our enrollment package. If you're a licensed driver, you'd be required to provide a copy of that driver's license and vehicle information. So make, model, year, license plate number, those types of things to go along with it so that we can identify it. Now, starting this year, since it is a little bit late, I don't know that we would give a grace period here to start the year to do that. So, I think 1st of September, that gives everybody a couple weeks to come in the office and get registered. I think that's more than fair. Next year, if we were to do this, then I think that we would push that a little harder, and that would become part of that online enrollment process to be able to do that. But if, a lot of our students, if nothing changes on their license, they should already be registered. It's just if that license expired and they got a new one, or if the vehicle information changed or something like that, they can just come in and update it. I don't know that we'd have to get a brand new copy every year. Just need to make sure that they're on file. So, like I said, I've seen some other schools that are, doing parking passes and permits. Some are trying to charge fees for those. That's not what we're, trying to do. I don't think that we need to do that, although it might be a good fundraiser to fix a parking lot. I'm kidding. Okay.
I do have parents complaining.
Yeah. But like I said, it really is a school security thing when we can identify those vehicles and figure out who they belong to. And like I said, we're not trying to get anybody in trouble, but I do think it's a step that we can take to try to help keep our students safe. But what you all think as well?
So what are like the ramifications if there are vehicles here without the identifying card? Are you gonna have write-ups?
So, we can look at I think you just look at the student handbook and, if they're not gonna register, I think that if it's part of the handbook, it's a, violation of the handbook, and we look at that discipline policy and we follow it. So I think, first offense and things like that, just as far as not following rules, if it becomes a problem, then I do think I think we would be within our rights to contact law enforcement and we could tell them they can't park there at all. We can write tickets and issue those things, but shouldn't have to get to that point. But I do think we can just follow that discipline policy.
Have you guys thought about doing like a color code system, like if it's just a permitted driver, which, or versus an actual licensed driver?
There's no difference.
Well, yeah,
So,
but
they have a license.
16-year-old can have passengers though, right? And
Yeah, but I'm not.
16-year-old's not supposed to unless
That's right.
they're 18 or older, or an adult.
What I don't
But what
know,
I'm getting at is it's an actual license, it's not a permit. And so then you get into those technicalities.
Gotcha.
I don't want to have to police,
Yeah, no.
that part of it. I really don't feel like it's our job to do that. I think it's our job to, keep track of who has those licenses and permits. But as far as then following along with the restrictions and having one or too many drivers, if we see that that's going on, I don't have a problem calling the parents and saying, hey, just gonna let you know. I'd want to know. So, but again, how much are we really responsible for policing and how much are parents responsible for to make sure that their kids are following the law.
I think it's a good idea to have it on file. I think you should only have licensed drivers here. I do not think it's our job to get involved in that end of it, I think, at all. So,
Yeah. And like I said, that's kind of the goal, is we're not really there to police that. I just would like to have a record of who that is. It also helps in the checkout process too, because, you know, they have to have a license with them to be able to check out through the office a lot of times, and so it might make them a little bit more aware, and we should have those things on, you know, those licenses on file, so it might help in that aspect too.
Well, I do know local law enforcement has it on their radar, and I'm sure they're going to be keeping an eye on that too.
Yeah,
Like,
as they
they're
should.
the ones that should need to enforce that.
Yeah.
So unintended consequences of this, you have several students that drive side by sides to school.
I don't think you can. I don't know what the city
I don't know
ordinance
either.
is.
I just see it going on.
They
Yeah.
can be a licensed driver and drive the golf carts and all that in their community, so I don't know.
As long as they're
if
licensed
drive to
drivers.
school.
So they would still have to provide that
So
information.
as long as they provide the information, have their card, they're good to go on
I mean, that's,
that.
yeah.
I'm good with that. I just think about issues that are
Yeah,
gonna come up.
well, and I'd have to look into like what that city ordinance actually says. I thought at one time it was 18.
I think it changed, if I remember right, because at first it was supposed to be 18, but then now if they have their license,
Yeah.
they can drive the golf carts around town, so the kids that are 14 can now do the same
So,
thing.
yeah, so like I said, that's, yeah. We're just asking to give us a copy of that license and the vehicle information, so.
I know when we set that golf cart deal up, it was 16. Did they change it?
Licensed, that was my understanding, but I could be wrong.
And I do think you're gonna run into an issue, like, they may say like, this is my normal daily driver, but sometimes they might drive a different vehicle. So I think as long as they can move that card from vehicle to vehicle, that way you can identify who the,
Well, that's what we thought too, and I know there's
Yeah.
probably gonna be some times they forget to do that, and again, I mean, you know, we're not gonna be out there just patrolling the parking lot every day, trying to write tickets or do anything like that for not putting the car in the right place. We would like to have a little bit better system of accountability and knowing what vehicles, because I'll be honest, I mean, there's been times I look out there in that parking lot and I'm like, I've never seen that vehicle before. You know, and it kind of makes you wonder because it's parked off to the side. Well, it might turn out to be that, you know, they borrowed mom or dad's vehicle and it's a little nicer and they don't want to park by everybody
Yeah.
else, and that's fine, but
Don't want to get mom's
sometimes those
vehicle
things
dinged.
are suspicious because it's different, and this would just, I think, help solve some of those issues, but would also, you know, give us a little accountability.
I'll make a motion that we approve item number 10, requiring all students that are going to drive to school to present the school with their driver's license and vehicle information and display the appropriate pass they receive.
I'll second.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
Collins?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
All right. Item number 11 is a proposed executive session to discuss the evaluation of the superintendent on 2 of those fundamentals. Financial management and operations. This is part of the ongoing superintendent evaluation process that we adopted about a year ago.
I will make a motion to continue this executive session.
I'll second it.
Oh,
Yes.
Oldham? Yes. Collins?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
To open session.
I'll second.
Hill?
Yes.
Oldham?
Yes.
Collins? Yes. Parker?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
executive session, we discussed as a possible action of the proposed items pursuant to 2508-307 to conduct the ongoing evaluation of superintendent for financial management and operations manager.
All right, item number 12. Do you have a superintendent's report you'd like to give?
Yep, I'm just gonna give you some updates on some of our bigger projects this summer. Our doors down on the north end of the junior high, they will be here Thursday to go through and should finish up any last minute adjustments to those, but they're all installed and hung down there on the classrooms, so they look really good and definitely a security upgrade for us. Just got to do, just some minor adjustments on a few here and there, and then that project should be done. Our gym floor, hopefully is done and sealed by the end of this week, and then we'll just have a few things to put some trim and some thresholds, and then install the carpet that will be there going into the entrances of the locker rooms. And so it's coming along really good. Both of those things, I would say if you haven't looked in on those, or if you want to walk down and look at the doors on the north end when the meeting's over, I'd encourage you to go look at those things. I think they've both taken a little bit of time, but the gym floor especially is going to look really, really nice. So we did have some damage done to our geothermal lines with all of the AT&T fiber installation going on around town. I know that won't come as a surprise to many people that some things were hit, but we did have two of our main 4-inch lines over by the baseball field and that cell tower that were hit, and so that shut down several of the units in this building about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago. AEC, I want to make sure and go on record and say, how much we appreciate them, especially Thomas. He came in here and diagnosed what the issue was pretty quick, and then got a hold of the right people and got us on the schedule to get those things fixed, and instructed us on how we needed to do to maybe keep things running and mitigate further damages to them. So I think we've got a handle on all that, and that company says that they will take care of those damages and cost associated with it for us. So thankful for that, but just something that we had to deal with here. Mr. Guffey and I had a chance last week to go over to the Career Tech and meet with Mr. Slater and Dr. Eaton over there, who are the main superintendents and assistant superintendent there at the Alva campus. And so it was a good opportunity for Mr. Guffey to go over, and he got a little tour of the campus. I know he's been over there before, but we worked closely with them, and so we went over and sat down and visited, and just to kind of build up, a little stronger relationship with them. So that was good. They mentioned enrollment. It is down just a little bit, but that's kind of been the norm over the last couple of years. We've just gotten a little bit smaller, and I think that's just typical of small towns. You just kind of up and down a little bit, and that's just where we're at. But I think everybody's getting excited. We'll come back. Teachers will report on Monday, and we'll be here for in-service training Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the students will be here on Thursday, and we will be ready to go for another school year.
All right, thank you very much. Any new business?
No new business.
Number 14, adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
I second it.
Oh,
Yes.
Alton. Yes.
Yes. Perfect.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.